You think I'm that stupid?
Yes, you are that stupid.
Welcome back, everyone. After rushing to finish last month's video, I thought about playing something a bit more relaxing. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Conviction. This third-person stealth and action game was released in 2010 for the PC and Xbox 360, published by Ubisoft and developed by Ubisoft Montreal. Now, why am I not starting with the other 4 games? Well, I haven't played Splinter Cell 1 or 2, Chaos Theory doesn't work on my PC for some reason, and none of the patches I downloaded fixed the game. Double Agent had some unique ideas, but I don't remember it being much fun. If you want a review on all the Splinter Cell games ever made, then go check out the YouTuber Critical Nobody. He's reviewed every single Splinter Cell game. However, in this video we're going to go over Conviction and why I liked it so much. Yes, even more so than Blacklist. As usual, we're going to go through the story, so spoiler warning, what I liked and disliked, and any funny or awkward moments that happened to me during my playthrough. Let's go mark and execute.
Oh, where'd that guy come from?
Some quick history. Even though Tom Clancy's name is on every single Splinter Cell game, he had little to do with the development of any video game or any of the books. The first 2 books were written by Raymond Benson. Then Grant Blackwood wrote the next 2 books. We then got 2 tie-in books for Conviction, then 1 book taking place after Blacklist, and 1 final book that came out in 2022 where Sam's daughter works alongside him. As for the games, they were all published by Ubisoft, and the first game, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, was released in 2002, developed by Ubisoft Montreal. Then came Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow in 2004, but was developed by Ubisoft Shanghai. Like I said, I never played either of these games, so I don't know how much fun they are. I imagine they have the early Splinter Cell gameplay concepts that would get refined as the series goes on. Then in 2005 we got Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, developed by Ubisoft Montreal. My memory of this game was spending so many hours in co-op with a friend just running around taking out enemies and beating all the missions over and over again. I do recall the single player missions to be fun, but I can't remember if I beat the game. Some of them were very challenging and I would get lost and couldn't figure out where I needed to go. Next was Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Double Agent. Depending on which generation of consoles you played on, there are 2 different versions to the game. I'm going to focus on the canon version, which was released for the PC, Xbox 360, and PlayStation 3. This one felt similar to Chaos Theory, but also made a lot of changes which left me feeling confused what they were going for. I did like the aspect of making choices that help or hinder you with either the NSA or JBA. Depending on your choices, this will give you different endings. As for the gameplay, I felt like there wasn't much freedom. Most of the time I felt like there was a main path I always needed to take. The next game was Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Conviction. The first gameplay trailer we got in 2007 seemed to focus on melee combat and throwing stuff and enemies around. While this may have looked cool, I agree with fans, this wasn't a Splinter Cell game. Fan reaction was so bad, Ubisoft put the game on hold and restarted development. The game eventually came out in 2010, and I still love this game. Overall, gameplay is much faster and makes you feel like a real badass special agent. However, I know fans right away are going to say, but it just doesn't feel like the other Splinter Cell games. And I agree with you. The final game, as of making this video, is Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Blacklist, released in 2013 and was developed by Ubisoft Toronto. Overall, they did a great job combining gameplay from Conviction and Chaos Theory. However, the game didn't sell enough copies to warrant a sequel. The only things we have gotten are cameos in Ghost Recon and Siege. There are rumors that a remake is in development, and there was talk of a VR Splinter Cell game. Let's move on to gameplay. Movement is straightforward, but it took me a while to get used to the controls. Holding right mouse button moves you into cover, then spacebar easily moves you to another piece of cover. For some reason, C is the kill button. I recommend you play around with the controls and find what works for you because I got tired of it and made some changes myself. The gameplay loop is mainly you walking around in the dark, which you can tell when the color of the environment changes to black and white. Enemies that are alive still have color. Getting up close to an enemy and pressing the kill button instantly puts the enemy into a brutal animation. Depending on what weapon you have, there are many different animations to see. If you hold down the kill button, you then take the enemy hostage. This can also be used to carry the person to a better hiding spot, since there is no picking up bodies. Once you've killed someone in melee, you unlock the execute ability. So now any targets you've marked, and are within range and are visible, hitting the E button will have Sam instantly shoot and execute them. There's one pistol that lets you execute 4 enemies at once. That's mainly the game. Follow a linear path to a big room with enemies and slowly pick them off either by melee or just shoot them in the head. There are some environmental stuff to drop on enemies, and as the storyline goes on, you unlock new gadgets to help you deal with enemies in case you are spotted. Which leads me into the other new feature of this game, the last known position. If you are spotted and lose sight of enemies, then a silhouette of your character will appear, letting you know where enemies last saw you. You can go hide and wait for them to go back into search mode, or just keep fighting them. There are achievements to earn, which gives you upgrade points to spend on upgrades for weapons and skins for multiplayer. I will say the multiplayer, called Deniable Ops, is still a fun mode to hop onto and play for like 15 to 20 minutes. They have Hunter mode, which is kill 10 enemies in an area, but if you get spotted, another 10 enemies will spawn before you can advance to the next area. There is Last Stand, which is like a horde mode, but you need to defend a bomb. There's Infiltration, which is taking out enemies without being seen. Lastly, there is Face Off, which is a player versus player mode with AI enemies in between them. There is a co-op story, but I don't have any friends that play this game, so I'm not going to be able to talk about it. Just know it's mainly playing on the same Hunter maps, and the story takes place before the single player story. Well, that's just about the basics of the game, so let's move on with the story, which I played on the hardest difficulty. We start off with Sam and his longtime friend Anna 74 hours from now, where Sam tells her to do what she has to, and she says she always does, then shoots Sam, and we get the title. Gonna be honest, I know what they're trying to do with showing the ending of the game at the beginning. It's to get us thinking wrong about a character, but it's really dumb here. Throughout the game, we keep coming back here, spoiling the final encounter. Anyway, we cut to Sam's friend Vic being interrogated. He talks about Sam and what probably was going on with Sam in his mental state. The main things to know from previous games is Sam's daughter was reported dead after getting hit by a drunk driver. Then, during Double Agent, while Sam was undercover, he was forced to kill his best friend Lambert, who was the head of 3rd Echelon, the agency Sam works for. After Sam completed his mission, he left and disappeared. Then one day, he heard about maybe his daughter's death hadn't been an accident, and he caught a name in the city of Valenta in Malta. A server gives Sam a phone and an earpiece from Anna. He asks how she found him, and she tells him to look up. Here the game offers you the choice for inverted controls. She mentions some armed men are moving in on the marketplace looking for him, so head over and wait for Anna to cut the power. Then we cut to 20 years ago in Sam's house going to his daughter's room. She's scared of being in the dark, but Sam tells her that being in the dark is actually a good thing. If you're in the dark, you can see everything and monsters can't see you. It's a nice way of showing the player how the stealth mechanics work. Then Sam hears something break in another part of the house. We transition back to the marketplace. You just need to take out the 3 bad guys. Then we transition back to the house and listen to 2 bad guys talking about nothing valuable to steal when a 3rd guy comes out of nowhere. But time stops in order to teach the player about getting a melee kill, then mark and execute the other 2. We transition back, and now you just need to follow the path and do the same thing. Take out this guy in melee, then mark and execute again. Keep going and do it again, but now you have 4 enemies. Follow the last guy into the bathroom, and now we get an interactive interrogation scene. Basically, in these scenes, when the guy doesn't want to talk, you walk up to an object of your choice and watch Sam brutally hurt the guy. Sam wants to know who sent him. The guy says it was a guy named Andrew Kobin. Sam asks why. The guy says Kobin was the driver that hit his daughter and used to brag about it. Then Sam asks where to find him.
In the city, the old museum on King George Street.
Overall, a good tutorial level. I then realized these talking scenes with Vic are actually loading screens, which is pretty cool to keep you engaged, until it transitions back to the game. Sam arrives at the mansion and you sneak in to take out enemies. After the first set of enemies, you can find a weapon stash. Looks like I still have all the weapons I've unlocked from previously playing this game. I recommend equipping the 5.7 and M468. Continue on and eventually you listen to Kobin talking crap on the microphone.
And one more thing. Your daughter, your precious little daughter, she was a whore!
Take out more enemies until getting to Kobin's room, and I had to restart a couple of times because it was an actual challenge trying to take out all the enemies. Eventually, I take out all enemies and grab Kobin. He asks why he killed his daughter. He says it was just a job. They gave him a photo and told him to kill her. Sam says he wants a name. Kobin says he's still working for them. Then says they were the ones that told him Sam was coming. Then special agents suddenly drop in and take Sam captive. Overall a fun but challenging first level. Sam gets transported back to the US and taken to an airfield. We see Anna get introduced to our villain, Tom Reed. He shoots a guy because that's what villains do. Then tells his lieutenants, Robertson and Prentice, to proceed with the next steps of their plan. Tom then gives Anna permission to interrogate Sam and find out what he knows about the EMPs and why he's hunting Kobin. After Tom leaves, and this guy gets taken out, Anna then gives us an information dump. She's working directly with the president as a mole inside 3rd Echelon. Reed is the new director and working with a private military company called Black Arrow. All they know is something is about to go down with stolen Russian EMPs, but they don't know where or why. Sam doesn't want to get involved. Anna says she needs him to make it look like he escaped and attacked her, otherwise her cover is blown and she's dead. Sam still refuses, but then Anna mentions his daughter and says she's alive and knows where she is.
You're lying. She's dead. Lambert told me she was dead, and I take his word over yours.
She's alive, Sam, and I know where she is. I've known all along.
He then smacks her twice to make it look like he beat her up. She gives him keys to her car and gives him a phone so she can set up a call with Sam's daughter.
I don't get the gun.
Just point it at the right people.
Oh, I will.
So now go out there and take out a few enemies. Then grab some C4. First thing is plant the C4 on a chopper so they can't follow you. Then head over to disrupt a power relay to disable the base. Then lastly plant C4 on a satellite dish to prevent them from tracking you. There's lots of enemies en route to Anna's car, but be patient and slowly take them out. And always remember you can shoot out lights. Get to the gate to win. Overall, a good simple level. Sam calls Vic and asks for his help after blowing up the airfield. He asks if it reminds him of Iraq. We then transition 20 years ago when Sam and Victor were in the military. They talk funny jokes when they get attacked. Sam gets taken prisoner while the rest of the squad is killed. Vic gets up and goes to rescue Sam. This level is more action focused. You can still be stealthy, but there's no dark areas to hide. You need to be really good with your aim. Follow the linear path and take out all the enemies, until you find Sam and take out the guys interrogating him.
Thanks, Vic. Don't thank me till we're out of here.
Then the wall behind him blows up. You take out some enemies until reinforcements
what?
arrive and bomb the area. Overall, a good simple level. We then jump back to current times where Sam arrives in the area to meet with Vic, but he's being followed by Black Arrow. So just wait for them to pass through these dark areas and take them out. Then meet up with Vic at the Washington Monument. He gives you a backpack with a prototype EMP which will stun enemies and disable all electronics in an area. Vic mentions a place called White Box which does research on EMPs, and Black Arrow was providing security recently, so they think there might be a connection. Now you need to make your way back to your car while avoiding enemies. I somehow managed to take out a few enemies and run by the rest of them by using the EMP. And even at the end here, I feel like I should have been spotted, but somehow I got lucky. Overall, a simple and quick level. We then get a quick jump forward with Anna escorting Sam through a hallway. Again, I don't like these jump forward moments. Sam arrives at a laboratory called White Box. There's a lot of climbing to do to get inside, but eventually you'll make your way in, hack some security cameras to listen in. The scientists in here are paranoid of the new security. Then we find the two lieutenants from the airfield. They tell the scientists to hurry up, but one of them stands up to them. So they shoot him. They mention they work for a guy named Gallard. Prentice takes a female scientist. and the other orders his crew to start killing all the scientists. Make your way into the room and take out the guards. Then talk to the scientist. Sam asks what are they working on. He says they are working on EMP tech. Then Sam asks about Lucius Gallard. He's the owner of the company working on this EMP technology. He then gets you access to the elevator. Now we take out a bunch of guards and make our way up to Robertson's office. However, along the way, Anna patches Sam through with Sarah.
Dad?
Sarah, is it you? Are you okay?
They told me you were dead, Dad. They told me that you'd been killed.
They told me the same thing about you.
Sorry, Sam, time's up.
Kill more guards and finally get to Robertson's office. He starts downloading the data, but of course you need to hold off some guards until it's finished. Overall, it's pretty easy to camp where they're coming in with an explosive. Then Anna says someone is trying to trace her download, so you need to head back down to the first floor and take out some more guards, then activate the EMP inside to destroy all electronics inside, which kills Robertson. Then reinforcements arrive, but I sneak around them to escape. Overall, this was a great level for sneaking around and taking out enemies in big areas. Sam is on the line with Anna and the President. They are going to spy on a meeting with Tom Reed and Lucius Gallard. So head over to the camera controls and listen to the meeting. You're supposed to keep the two men in frame to listen in, but there were moments it wasn't picking up, so I don't know if something wasn't working right, but luckily I didn't fail. We don't get much information except both men tell the other to just do their job. Whatever they have planned is about to happen soon within 24 hours. Sam then goes to meet with Gallard and have a little talk with him. He doesn't give any straight answers, but he says what's to come is bigger than Reed or Third Echelon and mentions there's 3 EMPs set to go off tonight. Then mentions some group called Magito, but gets shot. The shooter runs for it and Sam chases after him. You need to carefully catch up to him while also taking out a few cops. I find it funny the shooter will actually wait for Sam to catch up after knocking out some cops. Eventually the shooter gets into a car, but it explodes. Reinforcements from Third Echelon are arriving. I just hid on the second floor of this coffee shop and slowly took out each group of enemies. Even though they have helmets on, I still kill them in one shot. Anyway, make your way to the escape vehicle to win. Overall, another simple and straightforward level. We get another flash forward to the final confrontation with Reed. Then cut to the parking lot of Sam getting out of the back of a car. He needs to plant some C4 to knock out the main power to the Third Echelon HQ. That will give him a short window to get inside before the doors are sealed. However, this is a sneaking section, so you cannot be spotted or bodies get found. It's not too difficult to maneuver around, however I got so close but got spotted right at the very end. You do also need to take out one guard to get his key card. There is a cool cutscene moment of images of Sam's past all over the walls letting you know what's going through his head. Now this part is extremely frustrating. Sam talks to this lady about seeing Tom Reed. Then you need to get past this guy before the first set of doors close. Then 2 more guys to fight, but I forgot about the doors, so I had to go all the way back and restart the same conversation. It's unskippable, so you have to suffer through it.
God.
But once you're through the doors, you get to sneak through some office areas. Until you reach this guy, Fryman. He's a huge fan. He gives you Sam's former goggles, but now they have sonar. You can now locate enemies through walls. Really nice for targeting enemies ahead of time. There is night vision as well. Make your way to Reed's office, and instead of finding Reed, we find Kobin. He said Reed is working with the group Magito. Again, I don't know what this group is. He uses Third Echelon to smuggle the EMPs into the country. Reed will take out the president after the EMPs go off. The vice president is working for Magito, so that's why they need to take out the president and make the VIP the new president. Then Sam asks Kobin about what he knows about his daughter. He says Anna knows more about it than he does. Then special units drop in. These guys have sonar as well, so they often find out where you're hiding. Sam updates Anna about what Kobin said. He's gonna head to Anna's office for the truth about what happened to his daughter. Avoid some security lasers, then kill some more enemies, arrive at Anna's office, and she plays an old recording of Lambert. He says there was a mole inside Third Echelon that was trying to get Sam's daughter. They would use her to leverage Sam, so Lambert faked her death and used his grief for Third Echelon. Sadly, he never found the mole, so that threat is still out there. Sam starts smashing everything in the office. Anna begs Sam to help her stop at least one of the EMPs.
Why should I?
Because that's the one that will hit Sarah's apartment.
Anna says she's on her way to the White House with Tom to try and save the president. Now the screen changes color, and anytime you see an enemy, they automatically get marked and you just need to hit the execute button. Quickly run for the exit since Tom issued the order to have the building destroyed. Overall, this was a great, well-designed level. Sam arrives at the EMP site. You take out the first couple of guards, who some of them actually have helmets and masks, so you need at least 2 shots to the head to kill them. There's one guy that you need to interrogate for information.
If you don't know, who does?
What was that?
He claims he doesn't know anything, and he tells you the scientist Prentice brought over will know. So head on in to take out more guards and find the scientist getting beat up by Prentice. And as I was taking out some guards, the game froze on me. Luckily, this was the only time it happened. I reloaded a save and took out the guards. Sam rescues the scientist, and she says you need to destroy the 2 generators that are going to power the EMP. But he has to destroy them at the exact same time because if one gets destroyed, the other one activates, and just one is enough to charge the EMP.
Of course!
During the loading screen, Vic says he got Sarah in a chopper and we're heading over to the EMP site. Next area has a lot of guards, so do your best to take them out. Then Sam calls Vic and tells Vic about the generators. Sam needs to mark both of them so Vic can come in with a chopper and take them out at the same time. First one is easy. Then take out a bunch of guards inside a bunker. As you make your way outside, Prentice shows up with a chopper. Now you need to carefully take out a few more guards and stay out of the sight of the chopper. Eventually, make your way to the second generator and Vic comes in to take out the chopper and both generators. Overall, another fun and simple level.
Weapons are hot. He's firing. No kid. Find yourself some cover. This is gonna get messy.
Then lands so Sam can hug his daughter. However, they need to get into the chopper and get to a safe distance from the EMPs.
Oh my god.
But a missile hits the chopper because Vic didn't think they had air defense missiles at the White House. Everyone luckily survives the crash. Sarah throws a vest over to Sam. Vic says not to worry, he will take care of Sarah and get her to his office. Sam at first only wants to keep his daughter safe, but she tells him they will be fine and needs to go help out Anna. Guards will show up and you need to take them out. Then take a walk through the city streets and watch all the chaos going on. It's not much, but I appreciate them at least trying to show what kind of chaos EMPs can cause. Then fight more guards through the city streets until you get to the White House. Take out the giant fuel tank conveniently in front of the White House gate to get access. Take out more guards, then more guards, then even more guards, until you get inside the White House. Overall, a simple and straightforward, but still fun level. Reed had his people clearing out everyone in the White House. The Secret Service was doing its best to protect the president, but it was only a matter of time. Sam makes his way through taking out lots of guards, but the VP is in the ballroom waiting to give a speech as the next president. So head on over, take out more guards, and the VIP says he's bulletproof. Nope, he is not bulletproof. Take out more guards, then we get a loading screen. Vic says at this point Tom is kicking in the Oval Office doors. Anna will meet Sam in the press room to discuss a plan of how they're going to save the president. So take out some more guards, avoid a turret, take out even more guards. Finally, we make it to the press room. Now we're finally caught up with what we saw at the beginning of the game. We were supposed to think Anna was betraying Sam in that moment, but we know at this point this is all part of the plan to rescue the president. First you need to mark the guards in the room, then listen to Tom's monologue about everything. He says he's going to make it look like Sam was the one who killed the president. He then goes on to say the president was planning on shutting down Third Echelon. You can in this moment grab Tom, but I wanted to hear what else he had to say. He mentions Magito tried to make a deal with the president, but her policies went against what they wanted. So they decided it was time for a new president. Tom saw this as a wake-up call for the country that something like this could happen at any time and we need 3rd Echelon to keep them safe. This is another chance to grab Tom, but I wanted to listen to the last part of the conversation. But he doesn't say much except he's ashamed to waste such a talent like Sam. That's when I grabbed him. You take out the guards and save the president. Sam asks how Magito got to Tom, but instead says Sam wants to know about his daughter. You can shoot him in the shoulder or smack him. Tom says getting to his daughter was a way to get to him, and that was a way to get to 3rd Echelon, which is what Magito needed to get what they wanted out of the White House. Again, I have no idea who Magito is, but maybe it's explained in the books. Or maybe they had plans for a follow-up DLC or sequel or something. Sam realizes Tom was the mole Lambert was looking for, but I mean, are we really surprised by that at this point? The army comes in and the president thanks them for rescuing her and that there's nobody else in the room. They leave with the president and you have the option to kill or spare Tom's life. I was curious and decided to spare him, but all that happens is Anna kills him. So it's more of a choice of you killing Tom or Anna killing Tom. They have one last conversation and Sam makes it clear he's walking and never coming back. Anna tries to get him to stay because she has no one else to trust.
Trust. Funny you should say that. Goodbye, Grim.
The final cutscene is of Vic finishing up his story, then an alarm sounds and explosions, meaning Sam came to rescue his friend Vic. Overall, it was a fun final level and satisfying conclusion to this story. In conclusion, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Conviction is still a fun and very simple game. I can understand fans of the series having issues with the game. To put simply, it just doesn't feel like a Splinter Cell game. Sure, it has Sam Fisher and he does some sneaking around and has a few gadgets to deal with enemies, but I'm assuming the other games involves big levels that had many different paths for you to accomplish objectives. You could go guns blazing, or go for ultimate stealth by not killing anyone or getting spotted as if you weren't even there. Conviction has you feeling like a Grim Reaper, figuring out how each guard is going to die, either by an explosion, something falling on them, a bullet to the face, or by Sam's own hands. However, on its own, I still have fun coming back to it, and I recommend you guys checking it out too if you haven't. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe to help grow my channel, and please leave a comment on what you thought and suggest what video game I should play next. Also check me out on Spotify with the Time Pals podcast. Links in the description. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.